Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kyle Petty Show. I am Kyle Petty. Let me make sure things are working this time, okay? It looks like my mic is not muted this time. It looks like everything is connected the way that it's supposed to be. Thank goodness, because y'all, we've been having some problems on these previous streams. So happy it looks like things are actually working correctly this time. So what are we doing tonight? Of course, I've got some Long Island theater news. I've also got some conversation with Michael Verre, as well as a clip of a live performance from him. So thank you so much for that. And I've also got some conversation from Jae Hughes with a very special announcement. You heard it here first on the Kyle Petty Show regarding what they have coming up next. So lots to get into and not a lot of time to get into it, right? Because we have the season finale of The Traitors tonight. So there's other things to do. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Okay. So if you're new here to what we're trying to do, I want to just make sure that I'm featuring people in the Long Island theater community and abroad, right? I want to talk about your projects. I want to talk about you as people, and let's give you a little platform to have some fun, right? So I also realize that maybe you're not always interested in 25 to 30 minutes of conversation with the same person, right? So I'm taking what I think are the most relevant and best bits of my pre-recorded conversations with my guests. I'm presenting them to you in the live stream here. And if you're interested in the longer conversation, you can find them at 10 p.m. tonight on the KylePettyShow.com, or you can go on Spotify, YouTube. It'll be available in all those places. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. Thank you. So with that, here's my conversation with Michael Verre. We got into a number of different things, like his original music, the original musical that he's working on, and his passion for tap dancing. And it was a really fun conversation. It was super awesome to connect with him again after all these years, right? Because we only had that brief time during Beyond the Sea at CM, which, that wasn't really enough to really connect, right? So this was really awesome. It's very nostalgic for me. So here's Michael Verre. Of the conversation, right? You certainly mentioned before that you were writing your own original music. I want to know more about that. Like, how did you get into it? Was that part of your education? Like, tell us some things.
No, I honestly was very surprised that I came to writing. Like we said in the beginning of this conversation, where you said I never imagined I'd be a podcaster, but COVID really threw us all in different directions. I guess I was always creating. I was always making YouTube videos, tap dance YouTube videos, and I was an English major, so I was always writing in college. But I never really sat to write music because I'm not like a particularly excellent musician at any instrument, but I love music and I love the way that it makes me feel. But right before COVID, I sort of had this idea of a musical kicking around my head. But I never really had the time because I was either working or auditioning to sit down and write it. Then COVID happens, you have all the time in the world. And I actually would sit and write it. And I was like, oh, wow, I really like this. And I like how this makes me feel. And I like how cathartic this is. And then I really found that it's such a joy and a passion for me to write. So it wasn't a part of my education, but I do feel like everything that I've learned as a performer and an English major and all that, it all and a tap dancer. I feel like a lot of my music is driven by rhythm and kind of the groove of things. So all of that together informed my writing. So I guess that's my education in it.
Yeah, no, I do find that fascinating because, I was a music theory person. That's how I got out of high school because we were supposed to learn a foreign language and I was unable to. So my my guidance counselor sat me down and was like, what are we going to do? You're going to be stuck in high school like the rest of your life. She's like, you can go for music theory. If you pass the Regents and that, you can get out of here. I did enough to get out. But so how did you even know how to sit down and write the music?
So good question. I mean, I did I did some music. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with music theory, but I did music theory in high school. I sang in choirs, did the whole all state kind of vibe. So, part singing and an understanding of music was always something that I had. But then when I when I talk to more people or I collaborate with people and they have this insane, and probably you as well, this insane knowledge of theory And I'm just like, okay, I'm like, it's cool for me to know like where I'm at and what could be, and to like borrow parts of it that are helpful. But I really feel like I love the way that music makes me feel, and when I write, I chase a feeling.
Mm.
And I'm like, if the song I write, it doesn't have to be a million crazy chords. I mean, what's the quote with, not that I'm like a big country music fan, but it's like country music is three chords and the truth. And I'm like, I feel like I try to be very honest with my music and my lyrics, and they come from an authentic place. Um, Not that they're necessarily like deep, but like they come from a very truthful place. So it's like that drives it. And then the melodies, I'm like, if it's a little earworm and I'm humming it, then it's something that's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't think it's anything like super complex, but I have enough of an understanding that songs pop out.
Yeah, no, because all of your songs are super catchy. So, like,
Thank you.
certainly onto something. Tell me more about what that creative process looks like. Do you write your music by yourself, or are there other people involved in this?
So I write my stuff by myself. Especially with like the solo music that I've put
Hmm.
out. It really varies song to song whether I write the music first or the lyrics first. Like sometimes it'll be like a couple of lyrics, or like I just think an interesting rhyme or metaphor and I'll build a song around that. Or if there's like a good groove on the guitar, I'll write a song around that. Sometimes it's an experience that I want to write a song about, or for example, like the Hangover anthem, the Bacon Egg and
Hmm.
Cheese song that I wrote.
Yeah.
I wrote like the first verse of that, and then I started to see a music video in my head. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, this would be fun to film this on the roof, or I could film at the bodega across the street. And then I sort of wrote the song as the visuals were coming to me. So
Mm.
they were built in tandem. So that's why when I put the song out, I put it out with the music video because it's a song that's meant to be funny.
Right.
And I was like, oh, these inform each other. And so I try to draw inspiration, or I'm open to inspiration from wherever.
I love that song too, by the way,
Thank
because
you.
it really is. It truly is like also the anthem for the summer. Who has not experienced that, right? So I encourage anyone, if you don't know what song we're talking about, it's Hangover Anthem. You can find it on Spotify. I'm assuming on also like Apple Music and such.
Yeah,
It's
and
on the Spotify
if
version.
you want to see the video, you could go on YouTube.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Yeah, Hangover Anthem is a lot of fun, and like while it's funny, it's still also catchy. Like you can definitely find yourself like humming along too, also. So kind of cool to kind of see how that all comes together.
Thanks.
Um, so it's not just original music that you're working on, though, right?
Hmm.
I also understand you're working on an original musical. Um,
Yes.
after all the songs that I've heard of yours, I'm definitely super interested in this. Tell me a little bit more about this musical.
Yeah, it's called A New Song and Dance.
Hmm.
And my like elevator pitch for it is it's set in present day New York City. It is one part Singing in the Rain, one part Once, the movie or musical, however you know it, set in the world of your favorite New York City sitcom.
Okay.
So it's very lighthearted. It's very like
Yeah.
familiar. It follows these two brothers. They have a tap dance act that they're trying to get off the ground. The older brother is really passionate about it. The younger brother, who I've played in previous iterations, kind of does it out of obligation to the older brother. It's revealed that the younger brother has been writing songs on his own. He ends up at an open mic, is forced into playing one of those songs for the first time. He meets a girl who's a singer songwriter there. Her name is Maggie. They start collaborating artistically. They get closer. They have a friendship. So the show is very much about the triangle between
Hmm.
the overbearing brother and Maggie, and also the duty he feels to doing the act, and also this new passion that he has. So he's pulled both relationship wise and artistically, and ultimately it's a thematically about him stepping into like his most authentic self and sort of shedding the expectations of his brother or society or the expectations that he has on himself. So it's really about an artistic journey stepping into your most authentic self.
Mm, excellent. Now I heard you in there also. You mentioned in other iterations you've played the younger brother.
Mhm.
You performed this already before?
Yeah, so like I said, I wrote it during COVID, and then we did it at a New Works festival on the Lower East Side in 2022. So that was really cool. Then did a bunch of rewrites, and then about a year ago, not June, July 2025, we did the most recent version, like most recent draft and songs of it at a theater up in Syracuse. So
Mm,
that was really cool. So it's just, any opportunity to get to do it
yeah.
and like try the material again and again and again. is great. And that's how you decide what works and what doesn't work. And this needs some love, and this is solid. This always gets a laugh, so like that stays in, all
Right.
that kind of thing.
That's awesome. Is there a little bit of you that you put into that younger brother role?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an only child, as I mentioned, so it's not autobiographical in that sense, but thematically, the push and pull between, different sides of yourself artistically and being able to step into yourself in an authentic way is something that I definitely struggle with, and I think it's sort of a universal thing that
Yeah.
we all struggle with that.
Nice. How can people find out more information about this musical?
Mm. I would say the best place is probably Instagram. So it's a new song and dance on Instagram. You could find it on my Instagram. But also, I did record an album for it, so that's also on Spotify, so you could listen to.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
and
that. Okay.
yes, and it's fun because it's got, with the tap dance and the singer songwriter, it's got songs that sound like out of a Fred Astaire movie, like very MGM, Singing in the Rain, and
Hmm.
then you have sort of Jason Mraz, Sarah Bareilles type songs. Like there's one tune that Maggie sings that I was so inspired by a Brandi Carlile song, and I was just
Mm.
like, I got to write my version of a Brandi Carlile song for this. So you get a pretty wide range of songs.
That's really cool. What is the runtime of this one?
The it's around like 90 minutes. I would say 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending on if we want an intermission or not.
Hmm. Excellent.
So it's a quick one. It's a fun night at the
Yeah,
theater. There's something
that's
for
a sweet
everyone.
spot. That's a
Yeah,
sweet spot. Yeah.
exactly. It's no Les Mis.
No, I hate Les Mis. I hate Les Mis so much. I can't stand it. I don't know why we're so highly revering this man who stole. Like that's not like that's just not a thing. Like we don't do that.
It all comes out.
Yes, it's like come on now, stop. I'm actually pretty vocal about my distaste for Les Mis. Like,
Somehow I actually think I
yeah.
remember that.
Yes, like the music is fine. I also don't think that's like legendary and groundbreaking. Like it's fine. Just not my favorite. Not my favorite.
This is fair.
But now we mentioned a few times about how you're also a tap dancer, right? You
Mhm.
do a lot of that. Tell me more about some of the opportunities that you've gotten from that. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like you've accomplished some pretty big things over the years. And I've not known.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I have such a love for tap dance, and tap dance has been very good to me. I've gotten a lot of work as a theater actor with tap dance.
Mhm.
I've had a lot of like cool opportunities. I did this like little dance tour. It's called the Queensborough Dance Festival. It tours around Queens. I've done that for a couple of years, and then I don't know how this happened, but like they took footage from one of those from like one of the performances, and then it ended up on a billboard in Times Square. And I was
Oh
like,
wow,
so I
that's
was
so
like,
cool.
it was like my feet were on. It was my lower half,
Yeah.
arguably my better half. I don't know, but it was waist down, and it's just my feet tapping, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, this is so cool,
Yeah.
and like I never, that's a straight up like tap dance gave me that. And then I did something last year that was we did a tap number to open this this fundraiser called Arts for Autism at the New Amsterdam Theater, and it was just straight tap dance. But I've the tap dance has been very good to me, and I have a real love for it, and a lot of gratitude for it.
Yeah, and I like that you also kind of put that into some of your original work as well.
Hmm.
Because in the clip that we'll be sharing a little bit later, you're certainly tapping in the middle of My Kind of Love. Tell me a little bit about that. Who did you collaborate with that on that? Was that a co-writer? Did you write that entire thing yourself? Tell me about that song.
That one is all me. I do record with a producer and a mixer, and he's amazing, and he's like so many good ideas. But the music and lyrics are me. Yeah, I mean, he'll like, I'll be like, I wanted to have this kind of vibe. So like I wrote the chorus of the song about 2 years ago and just like put it in my pocket. And I was like, okay, this is cute. This is whatever. And then that Olivia Dean song that's been out, the
Oh
come be
wow.
the man
Mhm.
I need. I was like, oh, I love this song. And I'm like, I have a song that's this vibe, that's got this like shuffle, this doom to doom to, and I revisited the song and I wrote it. And then I was like, this is my Olivia Dean moment. And so I went to Zach, his name is Zach. And I'm like, Zach, let's make an Olivia Dean type song. And he was like, got it.
It's awesome. I can't wait to share this on here too because it's so good. It is so so good. When I first saw that, I was like, "What is this guy doing these days?" Yeah, so massively talented. Awesome. I
So
can't
nice of
wait.
you.
Good. Nah, it's just true. It's just true. It's not nice. I mean, can you believe I muted myself again? I can't stand myself. But anyway, what did you think about how I played off that Olivia Dean thing? All right, I have no idea who that is. I don't know what he's talking about. I just love that he was passionate about it, right? I don't know what that was. We'll catch up with that later. But thank you to Michael for joining me here on the Kyle Petty Show. Make sure you stay tuned for his performance of My Kind of Love at the end of this stream. You can also find that same performance at the end of our extended conversation that's dropping on Spotify and YouTube at 10 p.m. this evening. But first, now I've got some conversation from Jae Hughes that also includes a major, super secret announcement of what they have coming up next. So here's Jay. Now that we got that out of the way,
Great.
um, I understand you are currently rehearsing for a
Yeah,
show at the Theater 3,
that's right.
the 39 Steps.
Woo!
Tell me a little bit about this. The concept sounds exciting. We all saw Christine's video in which she was looking for people to come down
Oh,
to auditions. Apparently, people are playing multiple roles, and like this sounds chaotic and also brilliant. Tell us some things.
oh, it's absolutely chaotic. I have my little script right here to read exactly what it says about this show.
Oh,
A
tell us.
mix of Hitchcock masterpiece with a juicy spy novel, add a dash of Monty Python,
Uh
and you
oh.
have the 39 Steps. A fast-paced whodunit for anyone who loves the magic of theater. Isn't that fun? I couldn't have said it better myself.
It tells you everything and nothing at the same
Anything
time.
and nothing you need to know.
Yeah.
That's right. No, this is such a fun one. Yes, there are multiple roles. There's
Mhm.
only 4 people in the cast, and there are
Okay.
2 clowns in the show. And the clowns, which is one of my characters, acts as the surrounding characters of this little spy story. So
Okay.
we play everything, policeman one, sheriff, Mrs. This and Mr. That. And so we fill in the story for the 2 lead characters.
Mm, okay. So how many roles in total are you playing?
It I have to tell you, we've been talking about this as a cast and how funny it is because in every sort of advertisement for this, it's like, with people playing over
Right.
150 roles, and you're like,
That's what I saw.
I'm playing probably a cool 12. And
Oh, that's
but
still a
no,
lot.
it's still a lot, and there's a lot of different accents, and obviously, taking on a different physical life is always a challenge to differentiate the
Hmm.
characters. But that's the exciting part about it, right? Is just being able to play at the drop of a dime. Sometimes it's a matter of us switching hats. We have hats behind our backs and we're switching, or we're switching a coat and we're going on to say something in a Cockney accent, and then we're back to Royal British. It's really, really fun in that way. And it's super involved, but in the best way possible. There's so
Hmm.
many bits, Kyle. The bits are abundant
I can only
and it needs
imagine.
it. Yeah,
And it would have almost have to be if you're going to move forward with the concept like that, right? Like
right,
if we're going to be changing these people like just like that, it's got to be a little
right.
silly and a little fun too.
Right, and it's a
Yeah.
play within a play kind of thing,
Okay.
So I mean, so that's another thing that adds to that too.
Would you say that the challenge of that is what made you interested in doing it? What drew you to it?
1000%
Mm,
all about the challenge at this point in my life and my career, and this has been my thing for a while, of course, is, you want to learn, you want to grow as
yeah.
a performer. I like doing things that I haven't touched before. I've not done a lot of accents in my time, all of these years, and I haven't run into really a lot of accents. Obviously, the playing all of these different roles in one show, you don't run into very often. So
Hmm.
to do that, and then I have to shout out Christine Bohm. She is the best director, in my humble opinion, on Long Island.
Mm,
She is a collaborator, a true collaborator. Very comfortable environment, a wonderful environment that she sets up for her casts, and I've been a part of quite a few of her shows now at this point. So anytime Christine is on the docket to be directing something, I'm always looking at that show.
I love that. I love that. Awesome. I want to have her on the show at some point too.
You got
Yeah,
it.
I feel like
Yeah,
we'd have a really great chat. Excellent.
absolutely.
Good, good. Now, other than the 39 step, that's not really the only thing you've got going on. I understand you still have an announcement for us. What else do you have going on? How do you even have
My
time for
goodness.
anything else?
My goodness, I know. Well, right after 39 Steps, I'm so pleased to say that I'll be playing Hamlet in Hamlet at
Oh,
Carriage House Players this summer to open up the season. We run that May to June again at the Vanderbilt Museum and Planetarium in Centerport. We kick off the season.
that is
Very
excellent.
excited. Yeah.
Yes, and that's such a beautiful space too, and what a
Ah,
fantastic time to see a show there too before it gets too hot.
that's
You
right.
know, because who likes to be sitting out in the sun and stuff like that, and
It's a
the
toughie.
buggies, yeah,
It's a
it
toughie.
certainly
Yeah, I'll
can.
tell you.
Yes. So much like Star Kid and everything else you've done, you've been involved with Carriage House Players for a long, long time, and I've known you even longer, right?
Yep.
We met because you were Gabriella Montez in High School Musical, right? So
Gabriela Montez, yes. Yeah, how crazy. And that was back, Kyle, what? That was 2008,
that was
2009.
2008. No, that was definitely
Um,
2008 because I moved in with Brett that
yep.
same year.
That's right.
And I
That's
went to
right.
12 out of 14 performances of High School Musical because I loved it so
Number
much.
one fan.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And I
Loved it.
paid each time. That's the real
No, you
kicker.
didn't.
Yeah, I
No,
did.
didn't. You
I
paid
went on to
every
Ovation
time.
Text
No.
and ding, 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 ding,
Ooh,
and I
ooh,
would
ooh.
yeah.
Ovation ticks.
Yes.
Good for you. Well, that's
Yeah.
nice. Very
No, and you
nice
had to
support.
because there weren't really a lot of comps there because that was that partnership they
Sure.
had with the Children's Museum. This
Yes,
wasn't like
great
going to shows.
space.
It was
It
a
was so nice.
fantastic space,
Yeah.
but that wasn't the same with getting comps like at Cap. Like
Yeah, you're
you weren't
right. You're
going to get
totally
that. Yeah,
right.
you kind of had to. Yeah, I don't think I wasn't done dirty. I was a very happy audience member. No, no,
Yes.
no, no.
Yes,
I
that's
even
right.
thought about skipping Mother's Day to come.
To come to the show.
Yes, I sure
This
did.
close. This close.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Carriage House because again, knew each other for a really long time.
Mhm.
Obviously, Shakespeare is a completely different vibe from like how I met you, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I'm doing Shakespeare." I'm like, "You're doing what?"
Well, you
It's like
what?
so, like, yeah.
Since
So
when?
yes, and like it is so different. So tell me what you love about Shakespeare and like what brings you into that universe.
Okay, so I was doing a production of Fun Home back in 2018,
Mm,
and
at the
Christine and I,
Smithtown.
yes, that's right, at Smithtown Theater. Christine Bowman and I were involved in the show together. She was directing a all women slash gender non-conforming production of Julius Caesar that next
Mhm.
summer, and she expressed interest. Now, like everybody at first, and a lot of people I talked to that approached me about Shakespeare, everybody was like, no, too scared, and I mean, because it is, I believe that it is the scariest thing for a performer to do. It is a totally basically different language that you're trying to present to people who necessarily do not have the experience, right?
Yeah.
So I said yes, got involved. And, like you said before, the space is so glorious. You're doing Shakespeare outdoors at a historic estate on the water.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
just, it's so beautiful. And I played Caesar in that production. And I remember, you're speaking about, you're doing a monologue about the stars, and you're also looking at them.
At them. Yeah.
And you just, it elicits something that you just didn't feel. I just didn't feel before. I was getting a little, I was getting worn out of musicals. I'll be honest with you.
Mm.
I was feeling a little like, okay. I mean, listen, that is most of the experiences out here on Long Island. That's what audiences usually want to see, and that's what theaters are usually putting up. Understandably so. Had no clue there was this group that did Shakespeare. So as soon as I got involved, it lit a fire in me. And I said, oh, okay, this is what I've been looking for. I was looking to do more plays. I was looking to do, again, challenging things. I was looking to learn. I was looking to grow, especially as an actor. And CHP was right there.
Mm.
And since then, It's been basically every summer. I'm like, when, when can we do Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Inject it into the veins, you know? And yeah, so it just lit a fire into me that I hadn't felt in quite some time doing
Hmm.
theater. And that was really exciting. And that hooks you. And again, the challenge of presenting it to people who maybe don't necessarily know. You know, you are, as long as I think, and I go into this with Hamlet, as long as my feet are planted on the ground and I'm being honest, the audience is going to be right there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you just shared with us that you're going to be playing Hamlet in Hamlet.
Hmm.
What makes you so excited about this particular role?
You know, this is one that I personally coveted for quite some time. Since the
Yeah.
first time I saw Hamlet, this was something that was always in the back of my mind, like, oh, I really want to do that at some point. That would be amazing. So it's been stewing for a while. I think that Hamlet is Shakespeare's best work.
Hmm.
I think that the way, especially with the character of Hamlet, you know, you're really seeing the human condition. You know, you meet him at a very vulnerable place and it just kind of snowballs downhill from there until it explodes. And that's really fun to wrap your head around. It's one of those it's one of the most spoken about and debated characters in English literature. I mean, so it's just this monster. It's a feast of a role for an actor. I mean, that's what I think about. I just think about eating. You know, I'm like, I want to gobble it up, and I am so like that. It just makes me it makes me so excited. It's just yeah, it's just my favorite show.
Hmm.
And I think that, you know, there's so many layers to human beings, and Shakespeare so beautifully you know, puts that into Hamlet. I just think it's just wonderful.
Oh, great. Listen, my comments here are minimal because I really don't know Hamlet. I feel like that was
Yeah.
one of those like mandatory things you had to like listen to or
Right.
read in high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just trying to get to the end of this. I'm not really looking to
Yeah, let's
retain
go.
any of this because like
Right.
the language is so hard for me.
Yeah.
Now, how did you adjust to that? Is that just something, did that come naturally to you, or was that an adjustment? Getting used to the style of writing and speech?
Oh, 1000%. I had no idea what was going on, babe. No
Oh,
clue.
thank God.
I'm looking at this like,
Comforts
what?
me a
I
little.
mean, well, I mean, honestly, to this day, you know, there is no Fear Shakespeare out there from Spark Notes that, you know, literally you have the book. I have it right in my bag right
Oh yeah?
now. You have yes, there is the text. There was the Shakespearean text on the one side, and there's the English translation on the other. And, you
Oh,
know, and that obviously, you know, you want to wrap your head around like, what you're saying. Hey, I don't know this word. Okay, perfect. Let me go to this section. So, and there
oh,
is that. Yes, if you want to learn anything about Shakespeare, I no fear is. I mean, I don't
right.
know if I'll ever stop using it because,
That's
you know,
awesome. I didn't know that existed. No Fear
yes,
Shakespeare?
no fear Shakespeare. I'm like trying to. Maybe I can reach it. No, I can't
That
reach it.
sounds excellent.
Yes, but it's like a little bookie. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
booklet.
Oh, I'm very interested in that. That
Yes,
could shift my entire thing. 'Cause sometimes sitting, I don't
right.
even really know what's happening. I'm just appreciating seeing people create. I'm
Yeah.
appreciating the space. But I don't really know what's going on. As long as everybody else is having fun, like,
Right, right. But
yeah.
that's the thing too, you know, I encourage people also, and I talk to my parents about this, and we're, what's this one about? You know, I'm just like, I just encourage you to look up a synopsis. You know, look up the major points of what's going on in this plot. Yeah, you're gonna get spoilers, but this is Shakespeare's pretty old at this point. We
Yeah.
gotta, you know, like you could,
You have
yeah,
to accept that that's just
you can
comes with the
imagine what's
territory
gonna,
here.
right. You
Yes.
gotta gonna imagine what's gonna happen. But yeah, but I encourage people to do that too, you know, and
That's
that
excellent.
makes it a little bit easier to get that story right.
Yeah. Thank you for that little nugget.
Of
That's excellent.
course.
That's certainly new information for me. Did you guys know about this No Fear Shakespeare? I had to write down on a post-it to make sure I remember to mention it. We got it right. Did you know about this? This changes my entire interest in this, right? Because I've always stayed away from Carriage House because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. How do I write a review when I don't even really know what happened? So, like, I'm really excited to dive in. So, thank you, Jae, for coming here and sharing that, but also giving us your big announcement. So, you heard it here first. Jae Hughes as Hamlet in Hamlet at Carriage House opening this May, right? I think that's what I wrote down. Yes, May 23rd. Thank you very much. Got it right. Got it right. So take that. So before we get to Mikey's performance, I'm going to just call him Mikey. All right. I have been fighting the urge this entire time. I keep calling him Michael because I want to treat him like an adult, but I met him as Mikey and that's who he is. All right. So Mikey's performance is coming up after this, but I do want to share with you some Long Island theater news. All right. So let's do that.
Buzz? Oh, I'll tell you what's a-happening.
I'm back to these silly sound effects, but yeah, so what's the buzz? Let me tell you what it is. This is what I found on the interwebs. Everything that I could scour because nobody's sending me these DMs like I asked for. Okay, so CM is up to closing weekend of Spamalot. That closes on Sunday 1st, March 1st. Can you even believe it? Even more shocking than that, daylight savings time, I guess, begins. I don't know. Y'all's changing your clocks the following weekend, right? We're already there. It's very early this year. So that's what's going on. And at CM also, we got opening weekend of Cats shortly after that on March 14th. Okay, so lots going on over there. Theater 3 has Godspell running until March 22nd, and my review of Godspell will be out tomorrow on thekylepettyshow.com. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for that. What else? Smithtown Performing Arts Center, Jagged Little Pill. That doesn't open until the 21st, but keep it on your calendars. Keep it on your calendars. I will definitely be there opening night. I'm sitting in the balcony. All right, I like to be away from the riffraff. So that's what's going on. What's happening at CAP? Syosset, they've got Fiddler on the Roof. That continues this weekend. And CAP Merrick, they're going into their closing weekend of Rent. Okay, they close on Sunday as well. But Merrick has some other exciting things to do. Okay, it's not just performances, apparently, they will do over there. They've got a karaoke night on March 7th. I don't do karaoke. Okay, that sounds very cute. That sounds very good for other people. But karaoke to me is a performance, okay? We can't be in these streets unless we rehearse, but y'all have y'all fun. But they got a paint and sip going on March 13th. I'm trying to go to that. That sounds very fun. I think tickets were only like $25, and they're going to give you the paint, they're going to give you all the brushes, the canvas, and your first drink for $25. Oh my goodness gracious. That is worth getting out there for. North Fork Community Theater, they've got 1776 opening on Thursday, March 12th, Thursday. I will not be there for opening because I should be streaming that evening. But I do want to catch it because I haven't been to North Fork in a while. I gotta get out there. What else do I have on my little list here? We mentioned Carriage House. They've got Hamlet. That's opening May 23rd. It's a long time from now. And Lighthouse Repertory. They're also doing Fiddler, but in multiple places, from what I could see. They're going to be doing it in St. James on March 13th. And I think that's running for like 2 weeks at that point. And then they're going to be in Freeport. And that's on March 27th. So that's the buzz. If I missed yours, please send me a DM. Shoot me an email at thekylepettyshow.com. I paid a lot to make sure I have this domain and everything. So make sure I get my money's worth. Let me know what you have coming up. And with that, let's get into Michael Verre's performance of My Kind of Love. You're gonna love this, and I'm so excited that he shared this with me. So let's do that. This is Michael Verre.
Breaking the rules, dancing like Fred and Ginger, cool kind of love. for a feeling, the type that makes your heart skip like a stone, the type that I'd seen in the wild, and now I need one to call my own. I want that walking hand in hand in the park without a plan kind of love. I want that can't get out of bed, only thing that's in my head kind of love, baby. I don't need easy, but it's gotta be real, and I promise that you'll always know how I feel. I want that out in the rain, taking a 2-hour train with the transfer. I must be insane, old school, breaking the rules, dancing like Fred and Ginger, cool. Somehow I finally found the person that I've been dreaming about. That's kind of love, that's my kind of love, that's my kind of love, that's my kind of love, and you're my kind of love.
So that was My Kind of Love by Michael Verre. You can find that on his Spotify, just searching for Michael Verre. Thank you to him and Jae Hughes for joining me on The Kyle Petty Show. You can find both of those extended conversations tonight at 10 p.m. And once again, thank you so much for supporting this project. Thank you for supporting live theater here on Long Island. And let's get out of here so we can enjoy the season finale and reunion of the trainers. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you all so much.